Hi there, friends! I hope that you enjoyed the last chapter of Book 2. Are you ready for book number 3? Dory Phantasmagory. Dory, Dory, Black Sheep. We're just going to dive right in. Now, you know they give us a definition at the beginning of each book. This one says black sheep, a member of a family or group who does things a little differently. I'm very curious what's going to happen in this book. Okay, chapter 1 is called Such a Baby Book. My name is Dory, but everyone calls me Rascal. I am 6. I have lots of freckles. My hair is just messy. This is my nightgown that I try to wear as much as I can. But the most important thing about me is that I have 2 worlds. One is real and one is imaginary. This is my real world. My mom and dad, my big brother Luke, my big sister Violet, brand new best friend Rosabelle, old friend George. This is my imaginary world. My fairy godmother, Mr. Nuggy, my best friend Mary, who sleeps under my bed, my enemy, Mrs. Gobblecracker. My 2 worlds swirl together like chocolate and vanilla ice cream cone. Real and unreal get all mixed up into one crazy flavor. And things are always happening to me, but my brother and sister just say I'm annoying, and they say I eat gross. For every morning, Luke and Violet build a wall of cereal boxes around me so they can't see me eat. I just can't watch her slurp up her soggy cereal, says Luke. I just can't look at the milk dripping down her chin, says Violet. Ugh! But I'm not listening to them because Mrs. Gobblecracker is on the back of the cereal box. I don't know what it says, but I can tell it's bad news. 507-year-old robs again. Then my mom comes in the kitchen and starts screaming her head off. Rascal, you aren't dressed! But before I got dressed, I have to wake up Mary. Lately, I've had to wake her up with a pan in my hand so she knows I really mean it. She's gotten super lazy now that she stays home when I'm at school. I try to think of things that Mary can do while I'm gone. Can you make 150 wet toilet paper balls and put them under Violet's bed? I don't want her to feel left out. Look, you can use Violet's toothbrush. At least she's happy when I brush her fur. Stay still. Ouch! Don't stop. On the walk to school, I invent a new game. It's called Don't Step on the Sticky Poige. The poige is poisonous gum, and if you step on it, it drains the blood out of your heart. Rascal, you forgot your backpack. Goodbye, hug! It's everywhere. It's moving. It's alive, I shout, and Luke stepped on it. No, I didn't, yells Luke. It's on your shoe. There's nothing there. Help! Help! I scream. My brother is losing blood. I jump on Violet. We need a doctor, I yell. Are you a doctor? I ask the little boy ahead of us. But as soon as I see Rosabelle in the schoolyard, I forget all about the poige. Rosabelle has a big, thick chapter book in her lap. She looks up and sees me running towards her. We take turns picking each other up. It's like hugging, but more dangerous. It's fun to pick up Rosabelle because she is so poofy. She wears 6 skirts under her dress. She always wears a sparkly headband on her forehead, which she says is her crown. She has little tiny heels on her shoes that go clickety-clack on the playground. Today, she has flowers stuck in her headband that look like she made them out of tissues. I love pretending to read chapter books too, I say as I grab her book and open it. Now this book is great for kids, but totally inappropriate for grown-ups. Kids, listen. Grown-ups, cover your ears. Rosabelle thinks I'm funny. Once upon a time, there was a woman who married a piece of cheese. Then it's time to go inside. I love my classroom because Rosabelle sits right next to me. On the other side of me is George. While Rosabelle is busy drawing, George says, "Raise your hand if you ever found a Lego in your underwear." Silly question. Then George whispers, "Raise your hand if your mom ever told you to stop talking." George and I raise our hands. "Raise your hand if you ever hurt your thumb dancing," says George. Just George raises his hand. "Raise your hand if," but our teacher interrupts because it's time for morning meeting. After we do all the boring stuff, count the days we've been in school with straws, make tally marks for the weather, and put a sticker on today's date on the calendar, our teacher tells us, today is an exciting day in our class. Everyone is going to get a reading partner. You and your partner are going to be reading the same books together every day during reading time, and you'll have wonderful conversations about what you read. I raise my hand right away. Can Rosabelle be my partner? Well, you don't get to choose your partner, she says. Your partner is going to be someone who is reading at the same level as you. Great, I say. Rosabelle and I are on the same level about everything. We are even the same height, and we sit at the same table. We play the same games. Let me think. I'm sure there's more. Dory, my teacher interrupts. Not now. Oh, I say. When it's time for reading partners, I show Rosabelle that I'm crossing my fingers, legs, and arms for good luck. And tongue. The teacher calls our names. When you hear your name, go find your partner. But when I hear her say Dory and George, I uncross all my wishes and sink down into my chair. George hears our names just as he returns to the classroom from the bathroom. With a huge grin on his face, he runs up to me, but on his way, he trips on the chair. Just as he crashes into me, he kisses my arm. Gross, I say. Don't kiss me. Sorry, he says. It was an accident. You can't kiss someone by accident, I say. I did. I fell just when my lips were already smooched up like this, like I was about to kiss someone. Don't do that again, I say in my grumpiest voice. Okay, partner, he says. I want Rosabelle to be my partner, I say quietly. But then you'd have to read big, thick, boring old books, he says. I look over at Rosabelle. She has the same chapter book that she had this morning, and Clara, her reading partner, has the exact same book. I walk over to them. Can you read that book for real? I ask Rosabelle. By yourself? Uh-huh, she says. I read in my head. I'm so surprised. I just stand there with my mouth open. No sound comes out. It's really easy, says Clara, and then turns to Rosabelle. What chapter are you up to? Chapter 6, says Rosabelle. Oh my goodness, me too, says Clara. I go back to my reading spot with a lump in my throat like I'm about to cry. George and I have a red basket of easy reader books. I take them out of the bin one by one. This one is about farm animals. This one is about farm animals. Farm animals, farm animals. Every single one of these books is about farm animals. These books are terrible, I say. Yeah, and I can't even read them, says George. Our teacher comes over. I think you two are going to love this new series I chose for you. It's called Happy Little Farm. We pretend we are reading until she leaves. If I was the farmer, I would just eat all the animals, whispers George. If I was the farmer, I would move to the city and get an apartment with an elevator, I say. If I was the farmer, I would run around naked and put mud all over my body and then stick things into it. And then stick things to it, says George. That sounds messy. But you would do that anyway, I say. Yeah, he says. I flip through the pages of the book. This is such a baby book, I say. But look, this little black sheep is kind of cute. I show George the picture. And he's looking at you, George says. What do you mean, I say, and hold the book up closer. I think his name is Goblin, I say. Does it say that? George asks. I don't know, I say. I can't read. Raise your hand if you hate reading, says George, and we both raise our hands high in the air. That's the end of chapter 1. Here is your chapter 2 sneak peek. Chapter 2 is called One Tiny Mistake. Oh, I wonder if that's Goblin. Okay, last page. Okay, that is the end of chapter 1, the first chapter of book 3. Now, your question until we come back tomorrow for another chapter is I would like you to think, how is Goblin, our little black sheep, going to play in Dory's fake world, her imaginary world? So what do you think that Goblin's going to do? Is Goblin going to be an important character, maybe not an important character? Is Mrs. Gobblecracker going to want Goblin? We don't really know. So think about that, and we will read chapter 2 tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.